O, kita naman.
Ayan, kita ko rin. Ayan.
It's all clear. All clear.
Okay, I can try opening the, what's this?
The slides. Yeah.
Slides.
Wala si Boss Maning eh. Maning!
Hey!
Sir Manning. Pasok.
Bani, malinaw naman yung audio nyo eh. Yun na lang screen. First time nangyari to, problematic yung screen sharing. Sabay-sabay pa kayong tatlo.
Oo nga.
Sige, pwedeng ako na lang mag-pilot ng screen.
Yan.
Pwede na si Manin.
Good evening. So, what did I miss?
Hi.
What
Hi,
did I miss
Ian.
so far?
May dalawang Ian tayo. Wala pa. Nagka-testing lang yung mga presenters.
Okay, good.
So, okay na yun sa inyo, Lay, Ian, Bunny?
Yes.
Ako na lang screen share?
Okay lang
ayos na may screen share from my end.
Okay.
Okay. We're starting recording and then we'll go live on at exactly 7:30. So far we have 14 people. Hi everyone. Say hello.
Hello po.
Hi. Meron ba tayong mga
Good
bago
evening,
ngayon?
all of you.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes,
Pwede
we
mo
can hear you.
pakilala?
Ayun, ha.
Sino po kayo? Which
Hello,
one?
ano?
Sorry.
Hi.
Okay, I want to test something. Sino ang first time na participant ngayon? Can you raise your hand? First time participants. We have Angel.
The one here. First
Ito
time.
lang.
First time rin.
Oo. All the rest has previously attended. Hello, Angel. Where are you from?
Hi. San Juan.
San Juan. San Juan in Manila or San Juan in...
San Juan.
Ano tayo? Kapitbahay. So we have 13 people or 11.
Kasi Bunny wala daw siyang audio.
Oo
Sino
nga.
walang audio?
Si Bunny.
Si Bunny.
Ay, kanina ng screen gagamitin.
Kay
Manny.
Ang funny. Funny ng internet ngayon.
So wala si Bunny?
Kaya wala pa siyang audio.
Restart?
Bunny, naka-mute ka.
Kaya naman pala.
Ay, hindi, wala siyang
Ano?
wala siya yung mic.
Wala siyang mic.
Dear
Yung
po,
mic na yun.
okay ba yung natin?
Okay guys, it's 7:30. Okay, Maning.
Yeah, wait, tinitest ko lang yung YouTube kung meron. Okay, 4 people are watching.
Yep.
Yeah. Share natin yung YouTube.
Mic test. Ayan.
Mic test. Hi, Bunny.
Bunny ko.
Okay. Yun.
Ayan na.
Anong mga hapunan ninyo?
Wala pa.
Hindi ka naghahaponan.
Mapa time.
Mapatay muna.
Oo.
Mapping 101 ka mo.
Hindi pa ako kumakain. Yung last na kain ko, mga lunch.
Wow!
Oh. Diet.
Grabe ang dedication. Excited sa mugs.
Na, give up na ako. Nakakotan na ako for the entire month.
Salamat, everyone.
Grabe si Miko.
Hi.
Si Mati.
Hi.
Happy birthday, Miko.
Nasa si Nico?
Birthday, Miko.
Oh, hi. We have
Oh my gosh.
friends from other countries. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Where are you guys from?
Can everyone turn on their mic and I'm taking a photo? Turn on their video, sorry.
They're probably from Germany.
I don't have a cam, sorry.
We like German.
Okay. Guten Nacht or what's the correct?
This is Juan,
Hi, Juan.
and I'm Ali.
Ali. Hello.
Hello,
Where did you hear about our session tonight?
I follow your Mastodon channel.
Oh, great. Good to know that there are people there.
Yeah, we're hiding, but we're there.
Okay, great.
Okay, we're gonna be quiet now.
Okay.
All right, let's start.
Okay.
Galingan mo,
Ali.
Treasure.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. If we have people from all over the world, and then I'll shift back to Tagalog. So magandang umaga, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So we'll start this fourth episode ng ating WeMap Wednesday Mapa Time ng OSM Philippines. So this document is already linked in our chat channel. So if you want to open it, click nyo lang yung link. So first, some announcement. Again, this is live streamed via YouTube, parallel YouTube live stream. So if you don't want to be if you don't want to be part of this 8x8 conversation, gusto nyo lang manood, pwede nyo panoorin sa YouTube yung ating stream ngayong araw na to. Okay, if you don't want to show your face, kung nandito ka sa 8x8, turn off nyo lang yung camera para hindi magka-problema. So here are the links for our live stream and also the mirror in YouTube. This 8x8 conversation, gusto nyo lang manood, pwede nyo panoorin sa YouTube. Yeah, someone is acting in YouTube, so paki-off na lang. If you don't want to show your face, kung nandito ka sa 8x8, turn off nyo lang yung camera.
Echo.
Hindi magka-problema. So here are the links for
Maning, check your mic, please. Maning, check your mic. Maning, you're on mute. There you go.
How's this? Okay na?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So moving on. Again, we have our code of conduct for this session. So we encourage conversation, syempre, pero it should be an atmosphere free of abuse, harassment, or anything. So kung yung full text ng ating code of conduct nakalink din sa document, if you feel merong breaches sa COC natin, you can directly message Lay Lunas or send an email to osm.pilipinas +coc@gmail.com. Okay. So before we start, merong nagbanggit kanina na dalawang baguhan for our session. If you don't have an OSM account, mag-sign up na kayo. So for the mapping activity, we require everyone to sign up for an OSM account. Second, here are some documents related to our topic. If you feel malaking part ng topic natin would be introducing how to edit in OSM. If you feel na okay na kayo, you're comfortable with using ID and tasking manager, the task is already available, link here, and you can start right away sa iba. So for those naman na medyo may experience kami in the past na minsan nagko-conflict yung pagka mahina yung internet, nahihirapan sila doon sa task when they are participating in this what's this, yung live stream. So kung medyo mahina yung inyong internet, I suggest i-turn off nyo later when you are doing the mapping, turn off yung video, and then you can continue doing the mapping. The presentation that will be discussed by our presenters is already linked here sa presentation deck. Okay, a bit of outline on how can you participate dito sa 8x8 for Jitsi teleconferencing. So may mga buttons dyan on how do you participate. There is a chat button. There is a screen share for those who wants to do a screen share. And then of course, if you want to mute, unmute, disable, enable your cameras, and then yung mga options na yan. So just read through the document so that you know the interface of our conferencing platform. Okay. So for the program, we have a very exciting presentation about drones. And then after the presentation ng drone capture sa Lupang Arenda, we'll have our webinar, which is to validate the buildings in Lupang Arenda using our drone imagery. And then after that, may start tayo ng mapping, and then we'll do some break, and then we'll do a QA wrap up at the end of the session. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Once again, if you want to start mapping already, the task is linked here. We will discuss this in detail dun sa webinar ni Erwin. But if you want to go ahead and you're comfortable with editing in OSM, you can go ahead to do the mapping. Okay. So, ano ba yung Lupang Arenda? Lupang Arenda is sitio in Taytay. They've been doing a lot of mapping in that community. May local mappers dyan spearheaded by the barangay in Lupang Arenda. Barangay Santa Ana, Taytay. So part ng Barangay Santa Ana in Lupang Arenda. So what they're doing is they're mapping infrastructure like buildings, roads, para dun sa nila, yung selo. It's a form of tenorial instrument wherein people can assert their right to the land. So kailangan nilang what they want to do is i-map yung mga buildings para ma-identify kung saan yung mga lote ng mga tao doon sa community. So as you can see in this slide, ito sa left side is the default Bing imagery. So and then sa right side is what we captured using drones. So ang laki nung difference resolution, so that's why we decided to use drone imagery for digitizing buildings in this area. Okay. So aside from the view from the top, yung partners natin sa community nagka-capture din ng street level imagery gamit yung mapillary. So gusto rin nila itong gamitin kasi using street level imagery, you can identify the actual structures on the ground, ilang levels ba yung building, ano yung mga facilities na nandiyan sa loob ng community. So continuous yung capture nila ng mapillary, and they are also using this to verify the infrastructure that they are mapping. So ito yung mga examples ng imagery. What you can see here are yung state ng infrastructure sa community. A lot of the roads there are unpaved. So medyo may issues sa quality ng roads. So kasama yan sa ginagawa nila para ma-document yung other than documenting the buildings, kasama din sa ginagawa nila yung documenting yung state ng infrastructure ng community. There's someone who would like to speak. V. If you want to speak, you can unmute and then speak right away. Wala? Okay, so yung next natin na presentation is presented by Bunny, Ian, and Lay. This is all about how we did the capture of drone imagery dun sa Lupang Arenda. Okay, I'll mute my Jitsi now, and then I'll proceed. Let's have Lay, Bunny, and Ian do the presentation.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Lay.
Ayan.
Okay ka, Lay?
Hi everyone. Good
Hi.
evening. Welcome to Wednesday's Mapa Time, and thank you for joining us tonight. And I hope you learn something from us. And ayun. Ako nga pala si Lay. So I am also an OSM volunteer, drone pilot, and also member of Geo Ladies and Philippine Flying Labs. Introduce ko lang din yung mga kasamahan kong drone pilots ng Lupang Arenda survey, si Bunny and si Ian. Hello! Hello.
Hi!
Pakilala
Hi!
kayo. Pakilala kayo, Ian and Bunny.
Sige, si Bunny muna. I volunteer Bunny.
Okay, good evening. Magandang gabi. My name is Bunny. I'm from Marikina City, tapos also a member of OpenStreetMap. So I was part of the drone team during the mapping efforts or mapping support sa Lupang Arenda.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. Ako yung certified remote intelligent aircraft pilot ng drones. Part din ako ng volunteer ng OpenStreetMap for mapping together with Bunny. Kami yung usually pagka si Bunny and Lay, kami usually pagka mga drone imagery, kami lagi yung magkakasama. So, right now, part din ako ng volunteer ng Pasig drone team, part ng tracking team. So, isa ako sa mga nagpipiloto ng drones ng Pasig, nila Vico Soto. So, yun. So, isa yun during this time ng quarantine with the COVID thing, yun yung part na ginagawa ko din with my skills right now. So let's proceed with the mapping ng Lupang Arenda. Lay!
Ayan.
Take it away.
Ian. Si Ian, marami siyang kwento about sa experience niya sa Pasig DRMO drone team. So, if gusto niyo magtanong sa kanya mamaya, willing siyang sumagot. Ayun. Okay. Siguro, Sir Manning and Erwin, okay lang ba i-share to? Ang reason bakit important yung Lupang Arenda, bakit Lupang Arenda yung napili nating area is napansin nyo na magagaling nating validators and quality control people sa OpenStreetMap Philippines na may mga naglalagay ng private information sa buildings ng Lupang Arenda. So, dun siya nag-start. And then, dun nag-start ang collaboration between LGU and OpenStreetMap volunteers. Tama ba? Yes?
Tama.
Yay! Ayun. Okay. Sir Manning, pwede pong next slide. Next slide. Hello? Next slide. Ayan. Okay. So, ito yung survey team. Ito ay yung July survey team. So, ito naka-display name nila. I-highlight ko lang si Kat and si Marian. Sila yung from the barangays na tumulong sa amin to coordinate with the locals and also to explain ano ba yung ginagawa namin habang nagpapalapad ng drone. Kasi usually may mga bata na curious and may mga matatanda rin na curious ano ba yung ginagawa namin, etc. So, dahil sa kanila, naging smooth yung pag-collect namin ng data and imaging sa area. Okay, yung next slide. This one is sa second day, sa October. Share ko lang bakit nagkaroon ng 2 days. Actually, maliit lang naman yung area ng Lupang Arenda. However, dahil first time ko, it's my first time to collect images from an urban setting. Usually kasi yung nakasanayan ko either vegetation area or mga forested area. Ngayon ako naka-experience sa urban and lahat ng possible error and disappointments and everything na experience ko on the day 1. Wala sa other side ng sa map kalahati lang yung na-survey, which is yung great team nila Ian and Bunny. And then yung other side, kami ni Rally, hindi kami masyado nakapag... Sorry sir, feels ko lang. Hindi kami masyado nakakuha ng images. Pero sa second day, ayun, si Rally, first time niya maglabas ng... first time niya, actually, kabibili niya lang ng Mavic Pro 2 and sinabak namin siya agad for mapping. Ayan. Next slide. Oh, sir, hindi masyadong kita. Okay. Sige. Ito yung numbers niya. So, kinuha namin siya in 2 days. We used 3 drones. So, that's DJI Phantom 4 and Mavic Pro 2. And we had 10 flights. And the total survey area was 1.43 square kilometer. And the resolution is 5 cm for ortho and DSM. 10 cm naman for the DTM. It took us 15 hours processing time. This one, I used Pix4D, yung free 14-day trial. Yes. And 736 images. Next slide po. Next slide.
A question lang.
Yes, sir.
Ano ibig sabihin ng ortho, DSM, and DTM for those who are not familiar with the term?
Sorry. Yung ortho, yun yung high resolution na image na nakikita natin ngayon as background. Yung RGB niya. And the DSM is digital surface model. So, ito yung elevation niya, elevation ng objects and the earth. Tapos, ang DTM naman is yung bare soil, digital terrain model. Yes, yun. Ayan. So, ito yung buong area. And then, yung mga dots na nakikita nyo dyan, yun yung mga position ng photos na kinuha. Position ng drone nung kumuha siya ng photos. And yung stars, yun yung take-off and landing points. So, before kami nagpunta sa Lupang Arenda, na-identify na siya. And then, yun ang ginamit namin as basis for the take-off and landing points. Next po. Hello. Ayan. Okay. We used Pix4D app to for this. So, ayan. Kung meron kayong Pix4D na app sa phone, kukonect nyo lang yung drone nyo and then mag-layout lang kayo ng flight ng area and then magsasabi na siya kung ano yung dimensions niya, gaano katagal, and other information. So, mamaya baka i-share ni Bunny or ni Ian yung details niyan. Okay, next. Ayan. For processing this imagery, so we used Pix4D and WebODM. Bakit dalawa? Kasi yung first na palipad namin, ginamit namin ng web ODM. And okay naman siya. Then yun din in-upload sa first part ng yun din yung in-upload sa Open Aerial Map. And then to process the entire area, ginamitan ko siya ng Pix4D. Kasi kapag iba yung processing, pag Pix4D and web ODM, magkakaroon siya ng mismatch. Yan. Next. The result. So, ayun, you can see clearly the buildings, the streets, school roof. Kita nyo yung baha sa lower left side. Baha siya. And yung banderitas na naka-zigzag. So, kitang-kita siya using the drone imagery. Next. Ayan. So after processing it, so we uploaded it on Open Aerial Map. So Open Aerial Map, you can hindi ko makita. Ayan, so sa Open Aerial Map, since open data siya, so pwede nyo siyang gamitin as background. Open it using ID editor or JOSM app. So pag kinlik nyo siya, diretso kayo sa ID editor or JOSM. Tapos yun yung magiging background image nyo for digitizing or validation. Okay, next. Other things na pwedeng paglaruan since it's open, the image is open and also DSM and DTM, they're all uploaded in Open Aerial Map. So ito yung ginawa ni Sir Maning. So tinry niya kung ano itsura niya in 3D. And ayun, may profile siyang ginawa. Next. Ayan, so maraming uses and possible na pwedeng pag-aralan using this data. And especially for Lupang Arenda since high resolution image, madali na lang i-validate yung mga buildings or yung mga structures na gusto nila for the community. And ayun, yun lang. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask.
Thank you, Lay. Are there any questions from the audience or merong idadagdag si Bunny at si Ian?
Yes.
Question.
Hi.
Ano
Go
yung
ahead.
Hi, Faye.
experience mo, dilemma nung first day?
Dilemma. Oh my gosh, ang haba nito. Kasi yung remote ko and yung drone itself, hindi sila mag-connect. So pag pinalipad ko siya using the flight plan I did, ang nangyayari, lumilipad lang siya without taking any photos. Tapos hindi ko siya makontrol. So dahil ang drone ay hindi siya mumurahing bagay, so medyo nakakakaba yun, especially kung hindi mo makita kung nasaan yung drone na lumilipad. So naalala ko yung experience na yun dahil napatawag ako kay Ian and kay Bunny nun. Hindi ko alam kung ano gagawin ko. Yun, sabi nila, trust the process. Yan, bumalik naman siya, however, wala kaming photos na nakuha.
Samahan mo ng dasal, sabi namin.
Tsaka dasal daw. Pray. Wait and pray.
Tiwala
Yes.
sa tiwala sa drone.
Yes, tiwala sa drone.
Yeah, there's a question to kay Angel. Are the data produced available online? Can someone answer?
Yes. You can go to Open Aerial Map and search for and try to zoom in sa Lupang Arenda and you can download it.
Yeah, I shared the link for those who want.
Because
Hello?
I asked because we have a project in mapping. We've been working with Lupang Arenda for 2 years.
Mm.
So tapos kami kasi yung nagpo-provide ng technical assistance sa partner organization dun sa Lupang Arenda. We plan to do reblocking workshop, but we need yung mga, yun nga, yung structural survey process, yung stories.
Angel, sorry, medyo
Yes.
ang laki nung
Hello.
ang lakas ng
Sorry.
feedback. Can you instead write your question in the
Hi, Angel. Ask ko lang kung taga-Tao, Pilipinas ka. Hello.
Can Angel repeat the question? Medyo garbled. Or type in the message in the chat box. May chat box tayo.
Ayan, sabi ni Angel, taga-Tao, Pilipinas siya.
Yay! Yes. Na-mention ko to kay
For
Edra.
questions, post na lang doon sa channel. Medyo yung problematic yung sound mo yan, Angel. Sorry. Okay, any other question? Wala na. So before we proceed to the next item, baka meron ding gustong idagdag si Ian at si Bunny dun sa experience sa Arenda.
Okay. Well, continuation lang to nung presentation ni Lay. Para,
Meron pa, medyo madami pa yung presentation.
And then, 6 more slides na lang yan. 6 more slides. Okay. So, we'll request Ian to share slide number 13 na lang. Okay?
Okay. 1 second.
So, slide 14. Slide number 14. So, okay. So, it's important before you do a mapping project or initiative or ganito klase is to plan for it, di ba? In everything naman, I think a good plan would more or less yield good results. Pero kung wala kang plano, medyo problematic 'yun. So for this drone survey, we planned a bit before going to the site because these things you can do desktop or remotely. So yung sa pre-survey and flight planning namin, the red line and doing flight surveys, kung malaki yung area, that's about more than 1 hectare, you cannot have parang one singular flight drone survey. Likely, you would have several flights kasi drone flight would only be around 12 minutes, 15 minutes, minsan. So, limited yung flight time. So, in one go. So, what we did is to break down the area into smaller parts or smaller chunks on a 500 by 500 meter so 2,500 square meters area, that's 0.25 hectares. So may idea ka na kagad. So ma-organize mo na yung flight. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 areas to cover. And based on that area, pwede mo na assign kagad who will do area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4. For planning purposes. So you do this not on site, you do this remotely para pagdating nyo doon, fight na. Hindi yung parang pinaplano nyo pa. And when you go there, you just it's important to present the flight plan to the community. It's always a good idea to involve them, to show them as para participatory rin yung process at meron rin silang somehow nakikitang ownership dun sa efforts. So next slide. Ayan. So there are things na minsan kinakailangan mong paghandaan, may checklist ka. Some of it are on the equipment side like SD cards, on the drone side mga propeller, to have not only one battery, at least maybe 4 or 3 or 4. The more, the better. kasi that will give you more flying time. Imagine if you only have one battery, after the flight, you need to charge. So mag-aantay muna kayo before you can conduct another survey. But if you have several batteries, you have 3 or 4 spares, every after flight, you could carry on to cover other areas na hindi na kayo uuwi muna sa base to charge. So another is safety checks nung drone. Mas may detalye talagang checklist for that. And on the operator side, you also have some support side on yung mga assistant ng drone operator, mga spotters na tinatawag. And in that case, we also had yung mga barangay kagawad. Yung mga barangay kagawad, they are the locals who were with us during the survey. Kasi inevitable, marami magtatanong dun sa community. We were strangers, but when we were together with the barangay kagawad, so locals, they knew that we were there parang legal, hindi kami nag-i-improve kasama namin yung mga kasama rin. Okay, so next slide. So once you have collected all the images, na-discuss na to ni Leye, at the end, meron kang madaming images. Minsan nabot kayo ng 400 images, 450, 500, depende. But if you have a lot of images, you need to process it. And you need to have that software. Merong mga commercial software like Pix4D, and there are open source software.
Bani,
Software.
may question
Yes.
sa chat. May defined from V, may defined altitude pa ba kayo sa pag-capture po ng image?
Yes, we did define the altitude that is parang under the ka-aplos kasi hindi ka pwede lumipad ng mataas over 120 meters sa sa Philippine regulations. So I think dito 100 meters yata linipad namin dito, and consistent yon. All the flights were just 100 meters para yung hinahanap yung resolution when we mosaic all these images would be consistent. Hindi iba-iba yung altitude. It was a fixed altitude at 120 meters. So yon. Yes, ayun yung altitude namin, 120 meters.
Thank you, Bani.
Welcome. So going back, once you've collected the images, meron kang mga softwares. And the softwares that we'd use was Pix4D and WebODM. WebODM is an open source software. You could download it, punta lang kayo sa website, or you could process your images on the cloud. So up to you. If you don't have a strong machine, the cloud could be the way forward. Ang kinakailangan mo lang a good connection because you need to upload hundreds of images. But if your machine can accommodate the processing of 100 images, then next slide. After the post-processing, imagine you have 500 images. What does the software do is, ipapuzzle niya yun. I-stitch niya lahat yan. At pag ma-stitch niya yan, that's Leigh has presented, you have an orthophoto. And that orthophoto, ayun yung main input natin later sa OpenStreetMap in updating the footprints. And of course, other derivative products, you have DSM and you have DTN. And to add also, DSM essentially have the terrain of the Earth with the objects on top of it. So dito makikita mo yung altitude ng mga buildings, ng vegetation. And DSM, you have the surface of the Earth without the objects. So bare Earth kumbaga. Just the bare Earth. So ayun ang mga ano nyo, products nyo. And all these products, since the idea is to share them, to collaborate with other users, we have uploaded them in Open Aerial Map. So Open Aerial Map, you could also see other drone surveys conducted by people all over the world. No? So magandang archive yan. And if you get the chance to browse over the website, try it. And if you are a QGIS user, pwede na kagad kayo mag-connect dun sa server ng OAM, Open Aerial Map, and you can consume immediately yung images sa desktop nyo o sa laptop nyo. And you could use it in your mapping projects. So essentially yun lang. And now yung community, anybody who is online or pwede na nila ma-access doon kasi ano naman naka open access naman yung license nun. Once you've submitted it in OAM, as long as you give attribution, of course. So essentially that's my yung additional lang presentation dun sa sinabi na ni Lay.
Right. Salamat, Pani.
Okay.
Before we proceed to the next schedule, any more questions from the audience?
Kung wala, sige. Question kayo regarding sa ano.
Pwede na ba mag-ask kay Ian?
Si Angel may tanong, can you download the data or just online? You can download the data and you can also use it online. So I've linked the Open Aerial Map link to in the chat box. Ito yung nakikita nyo sa screen. You can download it. There's this download button, or you can use it in your editor, either ID editor, JOSOM, or QGIS. So yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Baka may mga hugot pa.
Sige, may magdadagdag lang ako ng konting insight din with regards to mapping sa urban settings.
Sure.
Ayan.
Go ahead.
Sige. Ayun, gaya nga ng mga hugot ni Lay kanina, yung mapping sa urban settings, in contrast with sa open field, magkaiba kasi talaga siya ng so yung experience ng flying ng pilot will really help you if you are already experienced in flying in urban settings sa mga ganitong areas. Like katulad ng Lupang Arenda, maraming challenges dyan when you're flying drone. Kaya kailangan talaga namin ni Labani mag pre-flight planning. So before we went to the area, to the project site, inaral na namin ni Bani yung Lupang Arenda, kung saan kami pwedeng, yung land area, kung saan kami pwede mag-take off, kung paano namin hahatiin yung area. So the first challenge is to find where to take off. Kasi sa urban settings, usually maraming wires, wala kang visual line of sight ng drone, maraming tao. So isa sa mga challenges yon, kung saan ka magte-take off ng drone ng safe at hindi ka makakatama ng tao or ng properties. So, chinek namin yon kung saan kami pwede magpag-take off at pinlano namin kung saan kami posible. With the assistance ng barangay, yung part din nila is to, kumbaga, sila yung crowd control din ng mga tao para hindi yung mga piloto hindi malapitan kasi baka yung mga bata lumapit sila. Either matamaan sila ng drone or hindi makapag-land na maayos yung drone. So, on urban settings kasi, marami din kaming kino-consider when it comes to flying. Baka kasi mawala ng signal gaya nung nangyari kay Lay. Laging nakakat kasi yung GPS na dahil maraming interference. Like, posible yung mga buildings, yung mga towers dyan, they create kasi a magnetic interference sa drone. So, baka kaya nakakat yung signal ng drone. ano nun, ang setback nun, baka hindi ma-complete yung mission ng drone. Kasi although we're flying flying ng drone is automated. So once na nag-take off na yan, hihintayin na lang namin siyang matapos yung mission niya, tapos babalik na lang siya, mag-return to home. So yung consideration namin dyan, laging bago ka mag-take off, make sure na nakapag-lock ka ng home point mo. Yung drone mo nakapag-lock ng return to home point. So once na nag-signal yon ng attitude ng drone, pag nakat yung signal, in a few seconds, magre-return to home siya. Kapag abot na siya ulit ng range ng remote, babalik ulit yung signal. Para ma-land mo siya safely, kailangan mo kasing ma-fly siya manually. So, ikakat mo yung return to home program niya. So, ganun yung style namin. So, nung time na yun na nagkaroon ng problema si Lee, tumawag siya sa amin. Lagi kasi nakakat yung signal niya. It's possible kasi kung saan siya nagpapalipad, malakas yung interference. Hindi balik.
Sobra.
Tama, di ba? So laging nagre-return to home yung drone niya. And since it's the first time na nagpalipad si Lay in an urban setting, medyo kinakabahan siya kung ano nangyayari. So the first thing I asked Lay kung naset ba nila yung return to home point. When she said yes, I told her na just trust the drone. Trust the process. Babalik yung drone. As long as wala namang, once nag-take off siya na walang technical problem yung drone, and alam mo din yung drone, yung capacity niya, and na-monitor mo naman yung battery. So, kailangan na monitor mo rin yung battery na enough na maka-return to home yung drone. So, kung mauubos na yung battery, kailangan yung monitor din yon. Kasi malalaman nyo naman kung ilang minutes pa from your point to the last position, may estimate nyo na yun how long it will take for the drone to go back to your home point para makaland siya safely. So, it all, mix na siya ng technology tsaka experience din ng pilot. So, yung experience din for Lay, that's baptism of fire for her.
True.
So,
True.
magandang experience for flying in this kind of terrain na urban settings. Kasi mahirap talaga siya magpalipad kayo pag nakat yung signal kung ano yung mga gagawin mo to land back safely. So, yun lang.
Thank you, Lay. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Bunny. So this is a very engaging conversation, but we have to stop now. Just a reminder, we are planning to do another deep dive of drones on April 29. So I invite everyone to join that as well. Same time, same probably a separate link. So right now, we will proceed to the next part of our webinar, yung paano natin ginagagamitin ngayon yung drone imagery sa pag-edit sa OpenStreetMap. So, Erwin, are you ready to start?
Yep. Let me just share my screen.
Okay.
Woohoo! Rock and roll.
Yay.
Okay, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Gising pa ba kayo?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Siyempre.
So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin ay gagamitin natin yung drone imagery na kinolekta nila Ian, Ray, at Bunny at ni Rani dito sa Tasking Manager, at i-validate natin yung mga buildings na tinace ng iba pa nating mga volunteers sa OpenStreetMap. So dito sa screen, makikita ninyo yung shortcut. Pwede nyo i-type yan sa inyong browser, or puntahan ninyo to. Pareho lang yung dalawang yan. So mas maigsi mag-type nito. Kung sinusundan ninyo ang slide na to, maning paki-post na lang. Yung URL ng slide ay para makiklik nyo na lang yung mga links. Okay, so we're going to Hot OSM. Medyo nadagdagan tayo ngayon. Pwede bang magtaas ng kamay ang mga kasama natin na first time pa lang gagamit ng ID or OpenStreetMap para may idea tayo? If you're new to OSM or new to OpenStreetMap or ID, could you raise your hands? or indicate the same in the chat box. Taas ng kamay manually. Okay, kaya ako tinatanong, the reason I'm asking why is I'd like to know whether we need to go through the basics of ID. Because if everyone is familiar with ID, we'll just proceed with the validation. So please let me know. Yes, V, go ahead. V would like to speak. V, baka naka-mute ka pa. Hello, V? Could someone help out V? Okay. So, dahil walang sumasagot, magpapatuloy na tayo sa Hot OSM Tasking Manager. So, I'm going to open the HOT Tasking Manager. At ito nakikita ninyo sa screen ay ang itsura o ang project na nakadedicate tungkol sa pag-validate ng buildings sa Lupang Arenda. So, project 6228. I hope everyone is seeing the same screen. Okay, ano ang kailangan natin gawin dito? Pwede tayong magbasa kung ano yung ginawa o ano ang instructions na ginamit ng mga nag-digitize ng imagery. Pero dahil kapag pumunta tayo sa mapping tab, kailangan natin mag-login muna. So let's do that by clicking on the login link and logging in with your OpenStreetMap account. Okay. So once you get to this part of the screen, just give access or grant access to the HOT Tasking Manager. This will allow the Tasking Manager to use your credentials in OpenStreetMap so you can proceed with using the Tasking Manager. Okay. Dito sa ating mapa, if we zoom in, this is the whole area that was covered by the imagery with some buffers. All the yellow boxes that we see here on the screen are cells that has to be validated by our volunteers tonight. Hindi naman natin matatapos lahat, pero yan yung mga pending na task. At itong mga nakikita nating green cells are grids or cells that has been validated by other people. Meron tayong mga kasama ngayon na nag-validate na sa mga blue cells na nandito. So maraming salamat for starting on that. So what you need to do to start with the validation is to select a cell. Try to avoid working on a cell next to somebody with the blue grid. And so we'll click on something small first. Let's click here. And then click on Start Validating. Okay, once you click a cell, on this part of your screen, you can select your favorite editor. Tonight, we will be demonstrating ID Editor. But if you are familiar with JOSM, you have some experience with OpenStreetMap, it's perfectly fine to use JOSM. Tonight we'll be using ID, and then I'm going to click on Start Editor. Okay, so we're waiting for ID to load. If this modal window appears, just click on Edit Now. Okay, what's happening here? Right. So within this magenta box is the same cell that you selected here. What we're trying to determine is if the previous mapper mapped all the buildings correctly. So we're checking on each of the on the imagery and see if the buildings are properly mapped. You will notice that we're missing a building in this part of the grid. Part of it is outside the selected grid, but as long as any portion of it is within your grid, please try to add the buildings yourself. So we're going to use the area to do that. So click on the first corner, another corner here, double click on the last corner, and then select building. We don't know what kind of building it is, so we will leave it by default. So the buildings angle are good enough, but in case it's not, for example, you happen to draw a building like this, if you right click on the building, there's an option to square or orthogonalize the feature. And okay, let's say something like this. Right click, square, and it will fix the angles, the corner angles of the building. If we happen to, for example, overlap the building that we just drew over something else, on the right panel of your screen, there will be an issues box, issues button. If you see a yellow or red button here, that means there's something on the screen that has to be addressed. So here on the screen, with the blinking blue outline, it's telling us that another building is crossing another building. So we have to fix that before we proceed with doing anything else on the map. We're fixing that. You can square this building again, adjust it. Okay. Do the same for this other building. Right click if you have to move it. Let's move it a bit. Sorry. Okay, when you're happy with your building, you can proceed on with the next one. So area. This looks like that this building is actually this big. Okay, so we don't have any issues anymore. Again, the previous mapper forgot to draw this building here. So we're going to help them complete that building. The shortcut for squaring a building is Q on your keyboard. So you can use Q instead of right-clicking on a feature. Okay. Okay, we're trying to simplify extra nodes on the buildings if there are any. Okay, so we've mapped all the buildings. Here, under the tree, there appears to be another building that was missed. So we're going to add that as well. Okay. Building. We have a red dot here. It's telling us that there's an error in our screen right now. So let's click and review that. Area has no descriptive tags. So this item highlighted in blue, we forgot to tag or identify as a building. So we're going to select it from the left screen and select building. So no more errors. All the buildings looks like it has been mapped. I think this is another building that got missed. So we're going to add that. Building. Okay. So within our cell, just make sure that all the buildings has been mapped. The outlines represent the buildings that we see in the imagery. Okay. If another building is connected to another building, we can disconnect it. Right. So as you can see, for several times, I was working outside my grid. That is why earlier I asked you to avoid working next to somebody's grid so that it's safe for you to make small adjustments within your assigned grid. So if you're happy with your building, so let's check this one. This looks like a building that is being constructed. I don't think it's a building yet. If you're happy with that, we can save on our edits. There will be a default comment available here. If you're associated with a particular project, let's say I am a contributor to OSM Philippines, you can add the hashtag in there. Click upload. And then your edits will be saved to OpenStreetMap. Once you go back to the tasking manager, you can describe what you did. So usually what I do is first thank the previous contributor. Thank you for your edits. Next time, please double check for smaller buildings. And then mark it as valid because all the buildings that was missed has been corrected by you. There are other validators who will tell you if, for example, you're supposed to map all buildings and you didn't map all the buildings, they will invalidate the cell. My philosophy is that since you're already there and the edits are minor, you can add those small features yourself. And don't forget to thank the contributors who added the previous buildings. So we're going to select another cell again, just so you can go over what I did earlier. So let's say I work here. Select that one, click on Start Validating, and then click on Start Editor. This will again launch your ID editor. So again, we have our grid marking the area that we're supposed to edit. We need to review if there are buildings that was missed. Okay, as you can see here, there are still buildings that hasn't been traced, but the previous contributor marked it as complete. So just so it's correct, we're going to add the missing buildings here. Make sure that you tag it. And then add the other buildings. This building is overlapping another one, so I'm moving it to the side. I'm also simplifying extra nodes. Q. Same thing here. Okay. Actually, this building looks like a smaller roof on top of another bigger building. So we're expanding this building to make sure that that is actually mapped correctly. Okay. This looks like another building here. Okay. All the buildings within my cell appears to have been almost completely mapped. area, building. Okay. I mapped all the buildings within my square. There are no errors or warnings for me, so I can click on save. I can add OSMPH here, or you can leave it as is. Click upload, and then go back to the tasking manager and mark the cell as valid. So once you mark a cell as valid, it will turn into green. That means it's an indicator for the other mappers that someone, a volunteer like you, has checked for all the features that are supposed to be in this cell, like the buildings, and that everything is in order. Okay, so are there any questions so far?
Question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so sa Lupang Arenda, maraming mga roof ang nag-overlap sa katabi niyang roof. So medyo mahirap mag-interpret. How do we go about doing this?
Okay, so for cases like that, it's always a judgment call of the contributor. So kung nakita ninyo, for example, itong nandito sa screen natin, try to find areas na nakikita niyo yung definition ng kabilang building at yung building na ginagawa niyo. For example, ito, mukhang na-miss ko itong building na ito. So what I will do is, even if I already mark it as complete, still possible for me to mark it as a building here. Building, check mark. And then, because there's a warning of an overlapping building here, see, building crosses another building, we want to fix that by adjusting this other building. Okay, and then you're done. And just to give you an idea of how difficult it is to use satellite imagery, I'll show you what it looks like when they started doing this. So I'm going to background settings and select, say, medyo bagong imagery from Maxar, for example. Yan nakikita ninyo sa screen natin ngayon, yan yung unang imagery na ina-attempt na gamitin ng mga taga-Lupang Arenda para imapa ang lahat ng buildings. So, ikukumpara ninyo yan versus the imagery that we're using now, this one. Malaking improvement, malaking difference between what's available from the imagery contributed by volunteers, sila Bonnie, sila Lay at Ian at Rally, versus what was previously available. So, mas madali pa rin magmapa o mag-validate gamit itong imagery na to. So, we'll just save our edits and click upload. And then proceed to our next task. Did I answer your question, Manny?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions?
Erwin,
Yes, Bunny.
siguro dadagdag ko lang dun sa quality ng image. As you've noticed talaga na superior talaga, no? Ang talas o ang taas ng resolution nung drone images. And that's why it's important, hindi naman natin ako-cover yung buong Pilipinas ng drone flights, di ba? Sobrang siguro tagal pa yan. But merong a few spots naman sa Philippines may ganyang images. Kaya it's important to share it para rin sa mga ibang mappers na kung gusto nila i-update yung nila at nagkataon, meron pa lang nag-provide ng or nag-share ng image doon. Magagamit nila yon instead of maybe making use as a background yung not resolution na existing na free satellite images.
Ayun. So, salamat, Bunny. So tama si Bani na kung halimbawa tayo ay nagbabrowse sa open area map kung saan naka-host yung mga images na to. Maraming mga ibang area sa Pilipinas na may mga nagko-contribute ng imagery. Ang challenge ay yung mga taong magte-trace para magdagdag. Kaya naman sa OpenStreetMap, kaya namin na-prioritize itong area na to because may sariling goals yung community sa Lupang Arenda. May paggagamitan sila ng datos na gusto nilang i-create. Kaya nag-decide kami na parang it's worth the effort and attention to assist them in that initiative. Kasi may balak silang paggamitan ng datos na ginagawa natin. So kaya nangyari itong Lupang Arenda. It's unfortunate na wala tonight sila yung mga taga Lupang Arenda. Mas marami silang kwento siguro may babahagi. So, kaya ang pinagkwento natin ay si Laban at Ian at Ray muna for tonight. Are there any more questions about how to validate using the tasking manager or the ID editor? If there's none,
Ay, may question ako.
Yes, go ahead please.
Sorry. Tanong ko lang, paano kapag construction yung building, tapos naka-digitize siya? Okay lang ba siya?
Okay. Kapag nakikita sa imagery na ginagamit or kinoconstruct pa lang yung building, most people will just mark it as trace pa rin the outline of the building. Kasi most likely, especially kung satellite imagery yan, by the time you got the imagery, tapos na yung building na yun. Kasi buwan lang naman hinihintay. So, it's safe to mark it as a building.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions? So, wala nang question. Yan. Go ahead.
Ako may question. Kailan. Yung may existing building footprints ng Lupang Arenda, then pumasok nga yung mas ma-clear na resolution na drone image. If you want to update the building footprint, tas specifically, let's say isang footprint lang, i-adjust mo na lang ba boundaries noon o de-delete mo? Anong mas practical na kunwari merong gustong magmapa nga for that area?
Oo. So bago sinimulan na gamitin yung bagong imagery, may mga luma na naka-base dun sa satellite imagery dati. Ang nangyari, dahil may mga dinagdag silang attributes sa bawat building. So pag nag-click tayo, for example, ng isang building, hanap tayo ng area na meron. Meron silang mga dinadagdag na tags o attributes sa bawat building dun sa dati. Ang ginawa ay binack-up namin yung datos, nilipat namin sa ibang tasking manager, tapos binura namin yung lahat ng lumang buildings. Normally, hindi namin nire-recommenda yon. Pero dahil sobrang layo ng kalidad ng imagery at yung resulta ng imagery na pwede nyo i-trace out of the drone imagery, we made a decision that it's better in terms of the quality of the data that we're going to produce to just delete the old ones. Although nasayang yung effort nilang yun, the good thing about that was na-save naman yung mga attributes at ngayon dahan-dahan nang naibalik. I believe it's over 90% of the attributes has been restored. Hindi namin pinapagawa yun sa public kasi may mga kailangan ng personal or local knowledge. So yung mga taga-arenda yung nagdadagdag or nagbabalik ng datos na yun. So ang sagot was, yes, dinelete namin. Tapos we started from scratch doon sa area na covered nung available na drone image.
Erwin, can I share my screen one ano lang?
Go ahead, please. I'll
Okay.
stop sharing my screen muna.
Okay. I just want to share yung medyo may parang mga ano lang, mga reminders when you're tracing. Okay. So for example, I have this building na nakikita ba?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so highlighted siya. First one, second, and third. So tatlo yung building. Pero if you look at the imagery, actually isang building lang siya. This one. Kasi may ano siya rooftop, and then there are several roofs do sa rooftop. So tingnan natin kung makikita sa mapillary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one. So actually isang building lang siya. So what you do is of course you have to check first kung may additional initial attributes other than building, yes. And then you delete the two of them, and then you trace this whole area. So for example, ito.
I-adjust mo na lang.
I-adjust mo na lang, and then you delete the other one.
Yeah.
Okay? So medyo dahil magandang masyado yung imagery, minsan you can see the difference between yung magkaibang yero, tapos iba yung bubong sa rooftop, tapos meron parang open area. So makikita naman siya, madali siyang makita sa imagery. So make sure i-check nyo.
Yeah. So maganda yung pinapakita ngayon ni Maning na ginamit niya yung mga on-the-ground o street-level imagery coming from mapillary. Kasi hindi lahat ng nakikita natin sa ere ay madaling ma-interpret. Pero pag nakakita tayo ng isang angulo galing dun sa on-the-ground, on the level ground, mas madali nating maintindihan na ito palang building na to ay ganito or ganyan. Pero we're not expecting you to do all of this today. Most of the time, we just want you to make sure that all the buildings has been traced. Hindi naman lahat kasi ng cases ay katulad ng present ni Maning. Minsan mas madali lang naman ang mga buildings na pag-trace. Ayan, may comment pa si Angel about mahilig daw sa mga roof decks ang mga taga Lupang Arenda. So dito, malinaw na nakikita ang lahat ng roof decks ng mga taga-Arenda. So it's now 8:44. Let's spend the next 20 to 30 minutes to continue with the validation. And then, pwede kayo magtanong sa chat box at magpapatugtog muna si Paul ng background music natin habang naghihintay. Paul, are you okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sige. So make sure that our audio is sure. So habang we have audio coming from Paul, I'll just share my other screen here para makita ninyo kung ano naman ang nangyayari sa ibang parte ng Pilipinas kung saan may OpenStreetMap editing na nagaganap. For questions, feel free to use your mic. Just speak out or use the chat box. And we'll try to answer your questions. So, I'll be sharing my screen para makita niyo kung paano ako mag-validate. But you don't have to watch it. Just continue with your own validation efforts. So nakikita niyo itong isang bahay dito ay parang tarpaulin pa yata itong ginamit nilang bubong. 3-day sale, 70% off. Ganun kalinaw yung mga nakikita nating detalye sa mapa. Ang isa pang inaayos natin dito ay kung ang buildings ay squalado, squared. So ginagamit lang natin dyan
Erwin, may tanong ako.
Yes, Lay.
Erwin,
Yes.
may tanong lang ako.
Okay, go
Kasama
ahead.
ba yung yung parang boundary nung lote ng tao or yung buildings lang?
Yung buildings lang. Pero minsan may mga areas dyan na tinatag natin as place is equal to plot. Kasi apart from the building, ang effort na ginagawa ng mga taga-Lupang Arenda ay mamapa rin yung actual lupa na naka-register sa isang tao.
So, ibang tag?
Oo, ibang tag.
Iba yung tag nun?
Usually iba. So, kunyari ito, kung makikita mo sa screen ko, itong may yellow na object sa screen. Tapos, kita mo lupa lang yan, di ba? So, I will, for example, mark the boundaries of that area. Pero hindi ko siya mamark as a building because it's not a building. Search for area. At wala. Yan. I'll hide all tags. Ang ilalagay ko lang dito, place equal to plot. So, ibig sabihin, this polygon represents a parcel of land that could be owned by somebody. Pero ang basis lang natin is the boundaries that we see on the screen. It's not a building because there's no building.
Okay.
Pero we're not focused on that. So ito yung yung kinikwento ko mga tags kanina na dinagdag na ng mga taga-Lupang Arenda. So ang pinaka-importante dyan ay itong cello number. Sarili silang tag. Ito yung nakalagay dun sa barangay master list nila at yan ang pinipresenta nila yata sa DNR kapag nagpaparehistro sila ng lupa. Kasama yun sa proseso nung pag-turnover or pagbigay sa kanila nung lupa kung saan sila nakatira. I guess si Angel will have more information about that. Angel, baka gusto mo magkwento about your work in Lupang Arenda? That's Angel. Medyo electro yung dating ng ating mga tugtog tonight. House crosses house. So, may error tayo dito. We move one building because it crosses another. Okay naman siya. So, make sure that you check all of the elements within your grid. Kung may mga kailangan kang i-adjust, please do so based on your interpretation of the imagery. So, medyo subjective yun. Pero, couldn't be helped. Ganun talaga sa OSM. So, maswerte actually yung mga taga-Arenda kasi ganito kalinaw yung datos na pagbabasihan ng kanilang project. Samantalang sa ibang areas, they have to make do with the regular satellite imagery. Okay, everything's good within my box. Save. Add OSMPH. Upload. Then mark this as valid. Okay, so for example dito, may isa na nag-mark ng invalid na cell. Pwede nating tignan yan. So si Mapbex ang nag-invalidate. Lacks digitized houses on the task. Okay, like I said earlier, my suggestion for this project is that instead of invalidating the task, please feel free to add the missing buildings yourself because the imagery is very clear anyway, and that won't take you, it will take you the same amount of time to just add the missing buildings. So let's map this. Tignan natin yung mga missing buildings daw na sinabi ni Mapbex. So sabi niya may missing buildings daw sa eastern part of the map. So let's wait for the data to load. Medyo may kabagalan siya. Okay, where are the missing buildings? So kaya to in-invalidate ni Mapbex ay dahil may missing na 1, 2 buildings. What I would have done is just add those buildings. Okay, and then leave a message to the previous mapper, remind them that they can be more careful next time. So 2 building lang yan na para makompleto itong grid na to. Okay. Tapos itong building na to, they look like just 1 building. So I'm going to delete that one. Tapos ang iba pang issue dito ay the angles of the building. At hindi maayos yung pag-trace ng boundaries. But those are the things that you can do yourself. So bago ko malimutan, gusto uli magpasalamat kala Ian, kala Lay for contributing this imagery. Otherwise, mahihirapan tayo sa pag-validate na ginagawa natin yung kung wala yung kanilang datos na inambag sa sa Open Area Map na nagagamit natin dito ngayon sa OpenStreetMap. Okay. Ito ay mukhang building na hindi pa tapos i-construct, katulad ng tanong ni Lay. So we can simply mark this as a building as well. Kung hindi pa tapos yung kanilang rooftop. Area building. Okay, so make sure that there are no errors. Click on save. Add your hashtag if you have any. And then go back to mark as completely mapped. Kapag natapos mo ng mapa yan, magiging dilaw yan, tapos someone else can validate it. You cannot validate the same edits, the same area you map. Dati pwede yun, yung mga unang version ng tasking manager. Pero ngayon, hindi na siya pwede. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I think Maning has a few things to tell you. So validate, start validating. Meron ba kayong mga na-encounter na challenges? Yes, binavalidate yung mga lugar? Kanina, bago magsimula ang session natin, Maning, magsasalita ka na ba? Ikaw muna, sige.
Sorry, nakamute ba ako?
Oo.
Okay. Sorry. So, last week, meron pa, ang topic natin ay OSM Mapa-aralan. So, mag-map ng school sa OSM. And we had this competition na paramihan ng schools na mamamapa.
Ayan.
Sino mang pinakamarami, bibigyan nitong limited edition, vintage, OSM mug.
Okay.
Na gawa.
Anong taon niya yan, Maning?
Wow.
Ano?
Anong taon niya yan na create? Napanganak na ba sila yun?
13.
Meron ako niyan.
Talaga?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yan ay huling
Kasi
map
nawala.
nandun sa aking stash. So we decided to have this as a prize for those who can map as many highest number of schools for the period of 1 week. So from April 8 during our session up to April 15 today, just before our session. So over 1,000 buildings were added by those who participated. Around 30 people participated in this competition. And tingnan natin kung sino nanalo.
Taran! Alam na. Wow! More than half.
Yeah, so ang winner ay si Mapbex.
Yay!
Yay!
Andito ba si Nico?
Konti lang lamang, oh.
Ilan?
Galing nga.
Si Ian, medyo kinakabahan si Mapbex as of...
Ang konti! Nagabot si Ian!
Yes.
Kumabol.
Anong oras na, Maning?
Ha?
Anong oras yung runtime yan?
7:30. 7:30.
Oo, 7:30 yung deadline.
Konti na lang.
So close!
Pero nanalo si Mapbex. Congratulations, Mapbex. I'll send you
Yay!
so that I can I ask for your address and then I can send you what's this? This mug. Sabi ng asawa ko, dagdagan daw niya nung coffee brew niya. So,
wow!
Sir, baka may paraffle ngayon o kaya pa. Right?
Baka naman.
Baka naman. Sir Ian.
Ian, baka mag-sponsor ng cold brew coffee.
Ayun.
Okay,
Walang brew ngayon, walang brew.
Walang brew. Okay.
Salamat Mapdex, and of course the rest of those who participated. Malaking tulong to for mapping our schools in the Philippines for OpenStreetMap.
Yun. So congrats to Mapdex. Baka may message. Nandito ba si Miko?
Kakaalis niya lang.
Malis na? Di ba
Wait.
for disqualification yan?
Wave.
Pag na-DQ siya, hindi ko yung tatanggapin kasi wala pa. Hindi pa tapos yung quarantine season eh.
Raffle na lang daw. Raffle.
Ano ba huling mensahe ni Miko?
Na-stress daw.
Raffle ni Maning.
Okay. So that's it for me. Time check, it's around 9:04.
Okay.
Erwin, do we stop this session or do we have a few more announcements to do?
So we'll just do a summary of what we did tonight plus some announcement at the end. So mga 10 more minutes of mapping, validation.
All right.
So guys, if you have questions, don't hesitate to just activate your mic or go to the chat box and ask your questions there. Angel, we can rewatch it as many times as possible. Kaya ito naka-mirror sa YouTube para magamit.
Gawin mong viral, Angel.
So I'll just set my timer for 10 minutes. Or Maning, just remind me kung after 10 minutes.
All right.
Ian, Adrian, wala kayong work ngayon sa Pasig? May error message daw, sabi ni, sa validating what does it mean may error sa loads. So maraming posible. Can you please elaborate kung ano yung nakikita mong error, Angel? May tatanong daw sa YouTube pala. Sorry, nalimutan natin. Is anyone checking on YouTube?
Ay, oo nga.
Sorry.
Kalimutan si YouTube.
Oo. Could someone please help? Let's see. Yun yung sabi ni Angel. Thank you, Angel. Wala naman nagtatanong. Saan nila nakita yun? Building crosses building. Where?
10 minutes is up, Erwin.
Okay, let me just finish this task I'm working on.
Hindi.
Upload. Wow, okay. So let me reshare my screen. Okay, please start saving your work. And don't forget to mark the cells as valid or invalid in the tasking manager. Okay. So can you see my screen now? Today, before we started the session for WeMap, the WeMap session tonight, the number of cells that was validated stood at 10%. And we managed to double that number to 20%. So malaking bagay yan. So maraming salamat. Please give yourselves a pat in the back or palakpakan ng ating mga sarili for helping in the validation of Lupang Arenda. Please, if you have any time available, we would welcome your continuous support for the project by helping validate the buildings. Personally, I try to do at least one cell every day para may progress na nangyayari doon sa buildings. Okay, are there any more questions? Tingnan natin yung chat box. Ayan, sabi ni Angel, they will try to do this in their office. Angel, should you have questions, or feel free to get in touch with through the various channels of OpenStreetMap Philippines kung may mga tanong kayo sa pag-validate. Let me just share our slides. Okay, so that is what we did today. Before we start going, can everyone show their faces on camera para magkaroon tayo ng group P for tonight? Si Maning ang photographer. Smile on camera. Ayan, marami pa ng tao eh. Show your faces. Okay na ba, Maning? Aba, nagpakita si Faye. Yan, may groupie na. Tapos na ba, Maning? Okay, maraming salamat. Ano yung sasabihin ko? So, Balbaleg, salamat. In Pangaratok, let's thank you. Before we go in a few minutes, please take your time to fill in the survey for feedbacks and comments. If you have suggestions about future projects or initiatives that we could feature in future sessions, please mention that in the survey. So yan yung survey natin sa screen. Pa-share na lang ng link sa chat box. And then if you want to get in touch with the OpenStreetMap community, we're online of course. Makikita niyo yung nakalistang mga channels wiki.osm.org/ph. At pwede nyo rin makita yung mga ibang ongoing initiatives na nasa wiki sa under ng category sa Pilipinas. Para sa susunod nating session next week, hindi pa nagko-confirm kung ano ang i-feature natin. Pero gusto namin ipalala na sa 29th, last Wednesday of the month, ang tentative title ay Flight of the Drones. Hindi ko na alam. Sila Ian, si Bonnie at si Lay ay muling magkakaroon ng session. At sa pagkakataong ito, all we're going to do or all they're going to do is talk about drones, magkwento about their tools, etc. So please mark your calendars. That will be on the 29th, the last Wednesday of the month. But hopefully you can also join us next week. We will make the appropriate announcement about which feature or project we're going to initiate. And that's it. So do you have any more questions?
None.
None from Paul? Anything from the chat box?
We're good.
We're good. Everyone's good. So yung pinost na link ni Maning ay ang survey natin. Please take the time to fill it up para matuto naman kami or malaman namin kung ano yung mga gusto nyo i-share or gusto nyo gawin sa mga future sessions natin. Salamat. At ano pa ba? May oras pa.
Salamat, Lay.
Salamat. Salamat.
Si Miko, tuloy ba yung session ni Miko bukas? Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yes.
Yun. So bukas ay merong mapaton. Anong pangalan nun? Mapping party? Mapaton party.
Now open.
Now open.
Now open? Yun ang ayun. Now open. na mapaton na kasi birthday ni Miko, isa sa ating mga masisipag na organizers. I think the details are in their website or Facebook page, MapDex. Paki-check na lang kung saan. Yon. Okay, is there anything else we missed? Baka may tanong pa kayo for Bunny, Ian, or Lay.
Magkano daw PF pagka nag-ano?
Ayan, yung mga importanteng tanong.
Add nyo na lang sila, message nyo na lang sila diretso.
Ano pala yun? Tag mo na rin yung yung sa Hot Philippines sa Friday.
Oh, sa Friday daw, ano bang event? Ikaw na magsabi, Eugene. Ano meron sa Friday?
Hot Philippines.
Ay, sa amin pala. So,
ay, may taga-hot pala dito. Hi, Faye.
Hello po. Plug ko lang po.
Ayan,
Meron
sige, go ahead.
validation training sa Friday, 2 p.m. hanggang 4 p.m.
Oh, Faye, may request ako kung pwede. Baka pwede yung mag-practicean din naman yung Lupang Arenda dahil maganda yung buildings dyan. Para lang ma-experience nila.
Nakita ko yung sample imagery. Tapos
yung imagery. Maski konti lang naman. Then proceed with Pampanga. Okay. Pero magreklamo sila, of course. Ba't ang pangit naman ng imagery na ginagamit nila?
Sobrang ganda ng imagery, no? Tapos walang gana.
Oo.
Maliit na kami yung drone yun.
Ano yan, Maling?
Maliit lang yung Pampanga, pwede i-drone.
Oo nga.
Baka interesado si Ian, para napapangiti si Ian.
Baka naman po.
Sige, sama nyo kami. Dito kami doon.
So, may sinasabi si Angel, info pala, basically 96 hectares ang buong LA. Lupang Arenda yan at Los Angeles. So, malaki-laki ang minata ninyo. So, thank you for the info you have provided. Maraming salamat, Friend Angel. We hope to stay in touch with you and your organization. Mag-message kayo dun sa Facebook or sa Telegram as aktibo kung saan mang channel kayo active. And let's see how we could collaborate in other initiatives. I'm sure we could always learn a lot from each other. Okay? Ano pa ba? Sino ang pinakamalayo nating bisita today? Yung taga-Germany?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Sino yun?
Wala. Yung katabi ng Candaba.
Kaini.
Last week may taga-Mexico tayo.
Sa Sa LA.
Sa LA. Medyo malayo. Wow. Tumawid ng Pacific Ocean.
Arenda. Or Antipolo.
Wow.
LA. Lupang Arenda.
LA. Oo. Ayan.
Alright. Kain na tayo. Sige na.
Sige po. Bye-bye.
Tapos na. Sige, maraming salamat. See you next week.
Bye po.
See you next time.
Bye.
See you
Take
next
care.
time. Thanks for the work today, everyone. Good job.
Good night, everyone. Sweet
Good
dreams.
night. Eugene, na-save mo na ba yung chat log?
Yes, na-save ko na.
Okay, sige. Bunny, Ian, Lay, maraming salamat for tonight. We'll hear from you again on the 29th. Mukhang nakahanap na ng iinumin si Bunny na mahimik na eh.